Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about something that happened over on Facebook Gaming and actually ended up going pretty viral. I saw a lot of people posting about this when it happened because it started to blow up, especially after Facebook themselves officially acknowledged what happened. And to give a little bit of context, I guess, to the situation here, Facebook Gaming, for those of you who don't know, is essentially like Facebook's answer to YouTube and Twitch. It's a video/live streaming platform that they've kind of built in order to get people on there and uploading content like they would, I guess, on other platforms, or live streaming like they would on other platforms. They've been signing a lot of people to deals. For full transparency, I am one of these people. I am partnered with Facebook Gaming to make exclusive content, so it actually turns out that one of the people signed to Facebook Gaming, or it seems like at least was signed to Facebook Gaming, was actually kind of responsible for this entire thing. So as many of you know, it is Black History Month, at least here in the United States. I don't know if that's like a global thing or if that just more or less is celebrated here in the United States, which means that this is a time especially where a lot of discussion about these types of issues is possible. I mean, if you do this during Black History Month especially, you're going to probably end up getting in a lot of trouble for it, right? Especially if you have a deal or something like that. I mean, even doing something like this really anytime, you're probably going to face some backlash for it, but I would think especially during Black History Month, where Facebook, you know, is going to be pretty much extra protective over sensitive subjects surrounding that kind of thing, this was probably the worst timing to go ahead and try to do something like this. But today we'll be talking about a Facebook streamer who made the claim that he was transracial, didn't want to be white anymore, he wished that he was born black, he resonated with his black friends more growing up and all these different things. And like I said, this ended up going absolutely viral. People were talking about it. I saw a lot of comments about it over on Twitter, and it seems like the public reaction to this entire thing is actually pretty split. So this is surrounding a creator by the name of Jerry Banfield. From my understanding, he was actually a pretty big creator in the Facebook gaming scene and whatnot. Apparently he was a Call of Duty Warzone streamer. And yeah, this entire situation unfolded. So I'm going to go ahead and play a clip of what he had to say directly. That way, you know, the context isn't missing or anything. This isn't the entire clip because the clip, at least this upload of it, is over 2.5 minutes long. And I'm assuming that that's probably not the full clip that could actually be generated, that contains quite literally everything said. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that this isn't the quite full context. But I mean, this is enough context for you to at least understand what's going on in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clip now.
All right, perfect. We got everything looking great for this. Let's start the show off. This should be a truly fantastic show today. All right, let's start it off on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are about to experience the Jerry Banfield Show. Today, my friends, I'm grateful I have the courage to do something I've been meaning to do for a long time. For years, I've wanted to be black. I've been tired of being white. I have wished I could be black. When I was born, let me tell you, let's just get to the point. I am now identifying as a black man and an African American. I no longer wish to be identified as a white man or Caucasian or European descent. That's not who I am anymore. And I've been wanting to make that change for a long time. When I was born, I felt most comfortable with all the black kids. Almost all my friends were black. And until about middle school, and people just told me enough times, you're white, you're white, you're white, I just accepted that programming. And I've been wishing that I could be a black man for a long time. But I thought, I can't be a black man because of my skin color. And I just woke up and had the epiphany today that if a man or a woman can look down at their genitals and just choose whatever gender they want to be, regardless of their biology, regardless of their DNA, regardless of what they've said they were in the past. What's up, Nicholas? If a man or a woman can suddenly decide to change genders, regardless of all of the other things, and that's fully supported, then I'm absolutely fully supported in changing my race.
Alright, so you saw the clip here, right? So Once again, the public reaction to this entire thing was actually quite mixed, right? So I don't know how long it took for Facebook to kind of notice that this happened, or for like people to report this guy enough to where Facebook really kind of paid attention, but Facebook actually went ahead and took this guy completely out in terms of his deal and everything, right? So this guy was partnered with Facebook, meaning that they probably paid him like by the month or something like that in order for him to be exclusive to the platform. It's not like this guy was any just small fry or something like that. I mean, according to this like little notification thing on his stream here, he has well over 2 million followers, which on Facebook is pretty impressive. So this guy, you know, pretty much threw his career away for this moment, right? This probably decimated really any chance of him continuing, especially like on Facebook as a partner. But it's going to be pretty hard, I think, for him to find any sort of like deal like this again in the future. I mean, like a YouTube deal or a Twitch deal or anything. I don't really see that happening now, because these kinds of clips, unfortunately, they haunt people, right? So if you're one of the people who kind of has one of these moments where you do something like this, or you say something that gets you canceled or something, that kind of stuff sticks around for years, man. So this guy basically, by telling this joke, inadvertently threw his entire career away because Facebook completely dropped the hammer on him. Thank you to everyone who alerted us to a live stream this morning which ran counter to the spirit of Black History Month. We have cut ties with the creator in question, removed them from our official programs, including access to monetization features effective today. So basically, this guy got demonetized on Facebook, right? You may have thought that this was only a YouTube issue and whatnot, and people only really face demonetization and things like that here on YouTube, but no, that's absolutely not true. Now, I saw a pretty split public reaction to this. There's really kind of two camps of people forming on this one, right? Their opinions, at least. On one side of the coin, you kind of have people saying that this guy deserved it, right? He deserved to face the repercussions and the consequences of making a joke like this and making statements like he made. Obviously, some of those comments could be spun to say that he's basically making fun of transgender people or attacking transgender people, if you want to go that far, by simply saying anything like this, right? And a lot of these people seem to think that him getting completely kicked off the platform like this was a good thing, right? Because he I don't know how to, invited it maybe to a certain extent, is probably what they think. Personally, right, like I would obviously think that this is the kind of thing that would get you banned, right? Like if I was thinking of saying something like this on stream especially, where you can't really control the context of how things go from there, right? Like people can just clip it however they want. I'm pretty sure if that was going through my head, I would immediately think like, this is something that could really screw my career up, right? This is something that could get me in a lot of deep shit, because, I mean, it's pretty common sense, right? And I feel like this guy knew that to an extent, right? We live in a completely different society than we did even like 5 or 6 years ago, right? A lot of these kinds of jokes and making these kinds of comments are deemed unacceptable to a lot of people, and a lot of people have just overall gotten a lot more sensitive to these types of things being said in general, right? Like even if you're not joking and stuff like that. So, but on the other hand of everything, there's also a pretty sizable portion of people that are actually defending him for this situation. Now, people who are defending him are saying that this was simply just a joke, that Facebook and all of the people who wanted him kicked off the platform were completely overreacting. These people say that he actually brings up a very good point considering the transgender community and the similarities in his statement about being transracial and some of like the arguments or the statements that come from like trans people. So a lot of people are kind of defending him on this entire thing, saying that just because he told a joke that people don't like doesn't mean his career should be over with, that Facebook Gaming basically overreacted, right? So you got two different camps of people here who are kind of talking about this entire thing, but it appears that Facebook has already kind of determined where they want to be in the lineup of this entire thing. This is clearly a pretty big liability to your business, right? Because as much as people don't really think about this, you do have to consider the fact that Facebook has their brand to uphold to a certain extent, right? I mean, obviously, if they don't ban this guy, then, you know, pretty much all the media outlets and a bunch of people on Twitter and whatnot come out and say, oh, racist white streamer says crazy shit about black people on his stream during Black History Month, and Facebook Gaming didn't get involved. Facebook absolutely dropped the ball in punishing this guy for it. They allowed it, which means that they probably endorsed it. That's kind of like the mindset that a lot of people have, right? where they just associate the person's thoughts with like the platform that they, I guess, use to host themselves or something. But it turns out that this guy himself actually dropped a couple responses to this entire thing, actually. There's 3 screenshots we're going to take a look at here that were posted from his official Facebook page. These all ended up getting deleted. I'm not sure if they were done by Jerry himself or if Facebook decided to take these down to suppress the controversy or something like that, but I have a monetization violation on my page now and appear to have been removed from the partner program. No one has said any reason why, and the live stream I did earlier remains monetized, where I revealed that my race is now black and African American by choice. We live in a world where we are free to change genders, and therefore this must apply to race as well, regardless of outward appearance, just as changing gender does not require a change in the physical body. I trust that given race is a protected status, given I have followed all the policies on Facebook Gaming today and for years, and given I'm free to self-identify in any way I like, a resolution will come for what has happened to my page with your help if you are able to provide it. I will continue streaming and uploading daily as usual and appreciate your support. Hate speech. I said earlier today that I'm identifying as black and African American starting today after wanting to do so for a long time. I said that I was excited to make this change during Black History Month. According to Facebook Gaming today, that is hate speech. Which part exactly? If I said I was changing my identity to being a female and a woman during Women's History Month, would that be hate speech? The simple fact is denying anyone the right to self-identify as any race they choose and denying them the ability to celebrate all the related holidays is discrimination. Facebook Gaming says my post was somehow hate speech because I am identifying as black and African American now. How is that possible? The only way this makes sense is if I'm not allowed to declare myself as black because of my current skin tone, which by definition is discrimination. So, like I said, all of these posts ended up getting deleted. Once again, not sure if Facebook took these down for hate speech or whatever, or if this guy just decided that it was better for him and his situation to just get rid of this stuff. Honestly, neither would really surprise me at this point, considering what's kind of gone down. I mean, this is a pretty career-altering controversy, obviously. You know, Facebook Gaming took this guy's deal away, and of course, I don't know the details of his contract or anything like that, but given his follower count, I could assume that it's probably a pretty good amount of money that just got taken from this guy over this entire situation. And like I said, it's become such a polarizing topic, right? It's become such a divisive topic because society's kind of just split that way now, right? You know, you still have a very sizable portion of people that get offended about these kinds of things, and then the other sizable portion that, you know, thinks that getting offended over these types of things is just completely stupid and provides no point. Either way, Jerry Banfield ended up, well, ironically enough, and no pun intended, getting banned, right? So I just went ahead and checked on Facebook to see, and as of me recording this audio, his Facebook page is still available. I believe that they took his verified checkmark away, and like everything says, they took his monetization and everything and basically kicked him out of the partner program. So I guess he's still allowed to upload content on the platform. He's still allowed to post new things. In fact, he posted a new video just a few hours ago, but apparently he's just not allowed to make money on it because of this entire thing. It's kind of a confusing situation, right? Because I would think if it was like bad enough to take his monetization and like unverify him, which is essentially the equivalent of saying that, hey, we can't actually prove this is the real guy. If they can do those things, I thought that they would have taken it a step further and just outright deleted his account and banned him from the platform, but that hasn't appeared to happen yet. Now, I think that he was basically just trying to make a joke at the expense of like trans people here, right? Because he's making the entire transracial argument and whatnot, and he brought up like trans people a lot in this entire thing, and I think that that also played into a little bit of it, right? Because it wasn't just that he was like making a joke about like being black or whatever, especially during Black History Month, but you have to also think he was basically making a joke and mocking trans people and some of the arguments that they use and some of the things that they say, right? So I think because he kind of did both of those and he like doubled up on the joke in a way, I think that that contributed a little bit more, and Facebook decided that was the appropriate measure. Like I said, people are kind of split on this one, and it's kind of gone both ways, right? So I don't know if this is going to be the end of the situation, if Jerry's going to continue the meme, right? If he's going to continue to say that he's black and whatnot to kind of spite Facebook and people who are mad at him for it, or if this is when he finally decides to like cut the joke or whatever and he's going to try to be more professional now. I don't really know. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Facebook. On Facebook, I post exclusive content just like this every single day as well. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. New merchandise will be coming in the next few days. And with that all being said, this is Optimus, well, saying I'm transracial and signing out.